Hey YouTube, Jason Ramos here with Day Trading Fearless and another tips and tricks for how to trade the stock market. So if it's your first time coming around to my channel, welcome. I hope you subscribe, hit the like button. If you have any comments, make sure you put them down below. I'll answer all my comments. Our channel's all about giving you tips and tricks to help you succeed at the markets, okay? So today we're going to talk about trading patterns. In this video is going to be specifically on trading breakouts. How do you trade them? How do you recognize them? Where's the best place to enter and exit the trade? That's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to show you a couple examples and let's go right into the charts. Okay, so here we are. We're looking at a SPY 5-minute chart. Now, just so you understand, 5, 10, 15, 20-minute charts, this will work. On daily charts, it's still the same. It's actually still going to be the same, but dailies, you have to kind of look at the bigger picture, just something to understand and recognize, okay? So here we go with a potential or with a breakout, right? Price rally falls, right? We make a high, we rally, we pull back, we rally again, pull back a bit, and then we finally break out. Okay, now a couple things with breakouts when you start to follow them and trade them. The type of breakout you want is when price breaks above a price, okay, that is acting as a resistance level, like double tops, double bottoms, things like that, where it keeps banging its head up against a certain price like it does here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then on the 5th time it broke out, okay? On that breakout, what you want is price to actually break out, pull back, and then retest and then move higher, okay? This is your sweet spot, if that makes sense, right? This pullback to this level is where you want to enter the trade. Now, in this case, as you could see, SPY broke out, but it never came back to retest these same levels, okay? We'll call it the 24.42.98 level, right? It broke out and then got to 24.13 was the retest on the pullback, right? And then it took off, started making higher lows, right? And higher highs. So with that being said, sometimes you need to enter a little early, because it's not always going to come back down, but this is our sweet spot, okay? We actually want to front run these prices. So if these prices are 242.98, maybe we want to enter at 243.03, right? Jump in 5-10 cents before, but then on the back side, we want to give it at least about 5 or 10 cents depending on how the stock reacts, right? Is it a high dollar stock, a low dollar stock? If it's a $10 stock, maybe you only want to give it 5 cents. If it's a $200 stock, maybe give it 20 cents, right? Give it a little wiggle room. Give it time to play. But the whole thing on the breakout is we want the retest back, and that is our sweet spot for the entry. And our exit would maybe go below a significant swing low, right? So in this case, I would say you have this big pull, right, or buyers, the pullback, and then buyers again. Well, if it breaks below this level, get me out. Right? So essentially, this is our risk right here. Okay. If it drops below that by, we'll say 1 or 2 pennies, get me out, because I've already given it about 10 cents here. Right. And then, what happens is our reward could be 2 or 3 times that, right? 1, 2, 3 times, because it's a breakout. But the very high probability trade is the breakout, the pullback. That is where you want to enter the trade. Now, moving forward, sometimes price doesn't give you the opportunity to get in on the pullback. Let's say you missed this trade, right? Well, all you have to do is take this line, okay, and extend it to the right. So let's extend it all the way to the right, right? And let's see what price does as price moves, right? So here what happens is you break out, you finally have the pullback, right? And now you kind of pull back near these levels again, gives you another entry, and then it starts to rally, okay? But here it comes directly down to it, touches, and look at that. It actually bounced directly off that 98 level, and it actually rallied all the way up to 243.30, right? And then it reversed and fell apart, okay? This is what it looks like on the bigger picture, right? You have a nice double bottom W pattern, okay? Check out my video on double bottoms. It rallies, pulls back. Here's your retest, right? And then it bounces. Here is the retest to the penny, okay? So these are very powerful patterns. Let's look at a couple others. Okay, let's look at Snap, okay, SNAP. Snapchat, a little different, right? Let's kind of zoom in, make a high, pull back, right? Here, you make a high, it breaks out, it fails, it comes back down, right? Because this bar is lower than this bar. It bounces around. Well, now you could say, if you never entered, hey, I'm going to jump in above this bar right here, right? So price breaks, pulls back, and makes a new high, right? So we could see the trend is higher because we're making higher highs and higher lows. So we would put our entry 1 penny above. It gets us in. But look at this. Price never really comes back down to retest this level, right? It just keeps going and going. So what happens is when we look at the bigger picture, okay, it took all this time until price retested, and then look what price does. It kind of bounces around. Maybe you could wait for that retest. Almost always price will retest the breakout level, okay? That's the way price usually works. Think of it this way, okay? Price will go up, come down, go up, come down, right? If you actually look at the way I'm drawing this, right, higher highs, higher lows, you'll see right here, price is always coming back down to retest those levels at some point, right? That is a very clean chart. Here, even though it dipped below, that's why you give it a little room, right, to kind of let it do its thing. You actually could have only had this much risk, right? If it maybe have this much risk and have this much reward. That's it. I know we're saying this after the fact. I hate people that show you after the fact, but at least I tell you it's after the fact. But again, that's what I'm saying. Don't put your entry at 13.50 and your exits at 13.49. Okay, maybe give it 15 or 20 cents, right? Because you're getting such a great entry. Let price kind of move around, shake and bake a little bit, right? And then look at that. If you're patient, you got paid very well on that. So those are, oh, actually, let me show you one more Twitter. I want to show you, right? Here's the breakout. Here's another one. Okay, as you can see, we rally, pull back, rally, pull back. Here, we break out. Here's the pullback that I was talking about, right? You could have entered here, maybe giving yourself a stop below here. So you were essentially risking 10 cents on this trade, and look at what price did. Yeah, you took about 5 cents worth of heat, and then it just started to rally, and once it broke above here, you knew you were good. And here's a perfect example of another breakout, right? It breaks out, right? Make a high, just like that diagram I drew for you. Makes a high, pulls back, makes a high, pulls right back, and then it's off to the races, right? If I draw one here, look at that, right? Pulls back, goes below, and then makes another high, okay? Here, same exact thing, right? So it just keeps doing it. That is a healthy looking market. I hope that kind of helps you to understand that in the future. So I'm back with you guys. I understand it's something you need to train your eyes. You might be going, I don't see them all the time. But hopefully if you start to look at these pullbacks, okay, if you're able to identify a breakout level, zoom back, almost like sit back in your chair, look at it from far away, you'll see them a lot cleaner. Don't look so in like micro, right? Kind of lean back. You'll start to see, hey, here's the bigger level of that support Jason talked about. I'm going to enter here, and you'll see the price will tell you very quickly usually, or give yourself a 20 cents. That's all part of the game, is risking some to make some, right? And once you start to watch this, you'll start to see these mini pullbacks on the breakout. That is the entry. You have to be quick. You can't think. You have to do it very mechanically. So again, that's it for today's tips and tricks for trading chart patterns of breakouts. Make sure you check out our other videos. If you're new, subscribe, like, throw some comments down there if you have any questions, and I'll help you out as much as I can. Thank you, and until next video.